Saturday morning, mid-morning. Of course, it's still trying to rain on us a little bit. Just me and Cahill this morning. He's back there following me in the skidder. We're here north of Stockton on a job we've been working off and on the last couple months. I've been in here doing some clearing. We've already cut a lot of this out right in here. A lot of it was just scrub, but what was here we've already got cut out, and they've got it shoved up anyway. They got a few down there like that guy there. We'll try to cut a log out of it. It's like they pushed one up on the pile, but could have had something done with it. I didn't even know they were going to clear this right here. Sure didn't. We're going to try to get a few logs cutting out this morning. Like I said, the weather here the last couple weeks here in southwest Missouri has not been good. We just keep getting these rain showers, and it's not little rain. It's, a few inches here, a few inches there. Today it was raining. I've been in town at the coffee shop drinking coffee big part of the morning, kind of waiting on the weather to break, and it just kept raining. I went home at my house. It wasn't hardly doing anything, and I told Cahill, let's go on with it. And then we get north of town, and it's raining to beat the band again. So, yeah, hard to stay ahead of the weather. But we're going to try to get a few logs out today anyway. There's still some back here on the ground that are cut, and we'll go back here and see if we can't cut a few more and get some out to the pile. Oh, that looks wet right there. That looks wet. We'll send him down there. There's some already cut. We'll get him to dragging those out to the deck. Throw my chaps on. I'm going to go down here, see if we can cut some between rains. It's even kind of raining, sprinkling right now, but it's not too bad. Hopefully it won't pick up anymore, but man, I don't know. The way this crazy weather's been lately, I wouldn't put nothing past it. He's loving that throttle. Loving that throttle. Pretty long drags. Probably only going to get longer. Yeah, he must have her to the floor, running her wide open. Yeah, it's even starting to pick up rain now. I hate that, man. Like I said, it seems like the last couple of weeks, this rain, we haven't been able to get much done. It's been slow, and that's been all across the area. I mean, that's been on all of our job sites. We had to pull off at Urick because it rained. It kept raining there. It got too wet. It was low ground anyway. Luckily here, I mean, this old ground's pretty firm, pretty solid, but still, you have these rain days. It's just hard to get much done. Hard to get much done. Now, some people that follow the channel actually know me and my dad, know we're big Indian artifact collectors. And as I was walking up to this tree, which it's broken, got the tip missing on it. Oh, gosh darn it, dropped her there. It would have been a pretty good little piece there. Pretty good piece. I'd call it a hardened point's what I'd call it. Now I know there's a lot of arrowheads in this place. All the springs backing through here. And we found a couple broken ones in the roads already. And the landowner says he's found some pretty decent ones. A good job for Mikey would be to put Mike back here looking for arrowheads. Because Mike used to go arrowhead hunting with me a lot. And I don't get to look for them near as much as I used to. That's something I really enjoy doing. It's something me and my dad, growing up. That's one of the few things we ever did together outside of logging was hunt arrowheads. And the bug caught me, and we've got a pretty good size collection. Probably 5,500 good pieces at least. We've probably got one of the better bird point collections in the area. But it's, like I said, I still like to hunt, just don't get to as much. But I always enjoy getting to hunt when I'm out here looking at timber. Now I've got a few down for Cahill on up top, and I'm going to get this one. I'm just going to kind of work in this draw right here in this concentration. Pretty good bunch of them. We're just going to kind of jump around. That way we can kind of put them where they need to be and don't make too big of a mess. Like trees like this, that's a pretty good sized tree there. we'll just have that one drug out by itself, one at a time. Of course, like I said, you can see some of these big ones, all this black oak down this draw here. A lot of good timber, a lot of footage. It's not hard to get several thousand feet out in a day like this. Even with me cutting and Cahill dragging, 7,000-8,000 feet, it's pretty easy deal. And I say that because Cahill, he's still learning on that skidder. So just trying to be patient with him and let him kind of learn on his own about how to drag logs and do it all. I try to give him tips when I can, but for the most part, I try to let him kind of trial and error unless I see him doing something he shouldn't be. So I definitely remember the days of learning to run a skidder. It never was fun, especially with somebody kind of peering down and watching you all the time. He's coming. See him right there. Let's zoom in. There he goes, snaking through there. Yeah. He's going to head over here and grab some, and I'm going to get this one down. Rain's coming down pretty good now. Still trying to get some on the ground, but ready to refuel. We'll watch Cahill try to grab these here. He still hasn't got down everything's pretty analog. It's move, grapple motion, move, grapple motion. He still hasn't got everything down to just doing it in one motion yet with your controls, which it does take time. But that's part of the joy of the grapple skidders. You can move so much wood faster, I think, especially in instances like this where it's fairly flat. I mean, this is a gentle sloping draw. It's not too steep at all. Perfect conditions for a grapple machine, which I'm not sure what he's doing here. He just killed it. Start it back up. Like he had his blade down. I don't know what he's doing. Killed it again. He's having a rough time this morning. And I try my best to stay calm and keep my temper. Like I said, I remember all too well learning. In his defense, he's been on the cable skidder the last couple of weeks and hadn't been on a grapple machine. I think it's the first time he's ever run this grapple skidder too, so there's that. He's getting his logs up off the ground. Away he goes. Yeah. He's learning. Next on the agenda, I think we'll get this guy right here. Need to get that guy. I'd like for Cahill to come down and push that treetop kind of out of the way, along with the treetop over there in that one. That way it kind of frees me up, gives me a little room to run if I need to, cutting them. Really opened up the canopy here. There's several big trees right here in this draw. We're leaving a few smaller ones for seed, which I don't know, the landowners, they talk like they wanted to clear a lot of this, and I hate to see a lot of this cleared like they're wanting to do. They're wanting to turn into kind of more pasture ground. I mean, this is a big place, several hundred acres, 400, 450, something like that. I'd like to see them leave some timber, because this timber will grow good right through here. And it's just, it could always, as long as it's managed properly, it could always be harvested, periodically. But if you clear it, I mean, it'll be the last time any of us ever see it big enough to harvest in our lifetimes anyway. So we'll fuel up real quick. Said the rain's really peppering down now. I'm already soaked to the bone from sweating rain anyway, so no need in hanging it up now. We'll see if we can get some more knocked down. Probably try to go in here about noon, so at least we'll get a few thousand feet out today. These trees are so big, it's like I said, it's not hard to get footage in a hurry. See, I've kind of spur cut this here. That's how I cut a lot of them. I bore them out and clip the spurs, ears. That's how I follow them. It's how I like to cut them. So on to the next ones. Well, I stayed a little longer than I said I was. Dad showed up when I was coming out, and he's on his Ranger, or I think he's on his second tank of gas, and I cut another one, so that puts me at 5 tanks for today, and that's that's plenty. I'm not feeling too ambitious today. Cahill, he's there fumbling around. I kind of made a mess of that there for him. I tried to swing that tree around, and it didn't exactly swing as far as I wanted it to. But I told him he could have just took the blade and pushed that top right to the side. And I don't guess he understood me or something. I don't know. I'm not too worried about. Like I said, he'll figure it out and burn a lot of diesel fuel in the process. Now, Dad, what he cut was right here along the edge. There was still, several, a pretty good one right there. We're gonna have to pull it, push it. But he cut several right in there, and the last tank or so I cut was right here on top of the edge, because I didn't feel like walking back across the draw. So that's it for today. We'll come back tomorrow, see if we can get another bunch cutting out, have a good start for the week. So I'm sure we'll be back up north some this week. Try to get a few thousand feet out here, hopefully 10 or 15,000 for the week, which, like I said, shouldn't be too terribly hard to do, even if we can only work 2 or 3 days at the most. That should be a pretty easy figure to get out, especially with all we got on the ground. Me and Dad got several on the ground ahead of Cahill right now, and I don't know, I don't even ever really keep track of how many trees I cut. Usually I just cut, and I sure haven't been keeping track of what he's been dragging out. So we'll get out to the deck and we'll see what it looks like. Huh. He'll learn. Cahill hasn't done too bad. There's probably, me and Dad were talking, probably 3,500 feet of logs here. Easily enough. They got some size and some height to them. Not terrible. Not winning any awards, but not bad. Doing all right. He's got another drag coming out now, so Dad rode his Ranger down here from his house. I guess there's a couple more. The old 289. Lonely, hadn't been ran in a while. Well, that's it for today, guys. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Try to add to this pile, get some bucked up, get them laid out. Start a new week. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.